Hey, welcome back to the Minecraft Let's Play series. My name is Hocus, and this is episode 28. Thank you for tuning in today. I really appreciate it as always. We, right now, are currently over at the Hive. That's right. We're officially naming this place the Hive. I called it the Hive in the title of the last episode, and I think it's going to stick. It sounds quite good, and it roughly describes what's going on here. So, we've been having a little bit of trouble, I guess, figuring out the ins and outs of bees, and just trying to put something together off of our own backs instead of using a tutorial on YouTube. But I'm kind of swaying now towards maybe using a tutorial or two just to help us out because we are struggling, I will admit that. Alright guys, quick disclaimer before I go through a few changes here at the Hive. We're not going to be working on this today for the entire episode. Going to start things off here, but we're going to move over to the Nether eventually. So if you're interested in the Nether and what we've got going on there, make sure you keep watching. Okay, so first of all, we've got rid of the inner ring. The inner ring is going. We're not going to keep it. We're going to stick with all of these hives on the outer ring, and that's how it's going to be, because we did, in the most recent stream, set up a system to allow the inner ring to possibly work, but I just didn't like it. It was quite janky. It didn't fit in well, so we're going to get rid of it, and we're going to just move on. Aside from that, I've got the next 3 rings set up, or the next 3 hexagons. So in this one, I was just doing a bit of testing. Ignore that. That's nothing. Yeah, definitely nothing. Okay, so we've got 1, and then here's 2, and here is number 3 to make 4. But before we go any further today, I'm going to just fill in the walls of these guys and bring them a bit closer to completion. That just about takes care of the ugly nature of the inner rings of the final 2 hexagons here. So they have nice new designs, which is great to see. 4 hexagons ready to go now. So this one over here is obviously the most complete, but there is something that we need to do, and that is a little bit of pest removal. These hives have got to go. The natural gen hives are no longer required. We want the bees to begin prioritizing the crafted hives. Wait, how did that guy get out there? Oh boy. Oh boy, we've got an escapee. We'll get him back in just a moment, but as I say, we need the bees to begin prioritizing the crafted hives. So that's why we got rid of the natural gen ones, and we will just breed. I think there should be 2 in here still. Or at least I hope so, because we need to begin populating this place. Oh boy, changes guys, changes. But before we dive into those changes, I just want to say something. Finally got my new desk set up, much more real estate, so much more space. It's amazing, finally. My old desk was tiny, so this is deluxe for me, guys, not gonna lie, it's deluxe. But that is besides the point. So we now have glass between the hives. This is gonna go some distance to preventing bees heading towards the tracks. That's prevented because we don't want the bees to collide with the cart when it's passing through. That will cause bad things. So bees stay in the middle and hopefully don't fly past the glass. I mean, it's still possible, but this will go some distance to preventing that. And then also, you may notice the button atop each of the systems here. So what this is essentially a manual override. So there could be a situation in which the shears run out. The honey is produced in the hive. The observer fires the dispenser, but nothing happens because there are no shears. In this situation, we'd need to restock the shears, but that wouldn't cause the dispenser to fire again, right? Unless a bee enters and exits the hive. But again, something that's based on chance. So if we ever do need to override it, we can just hit the button that will fire the dispenser and just reset it, get things back to working order. So far so good. I'm breeding the bees as I go, just trying to bring the population up. Got a little bit of honeycomb from it as well, and you can see that I've actually filled in all of the hives now, so it is producing. Unfortunately, at the moment, it's manual collection only, but we should be able to change that pretty easily. You know what, guys? One thing I've noticed is that when the honeycomb is dispensed, I used to think it stayed quite close to the hives, but I'm not kidding when I say this. Okay, that one went there. I'm not kidding when I say this, but it can go anywhere. It can go absolutely anywhere. I've seen it behind here. I've seen it towards the middle. There's some there, some there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just do something very simple. I'm going to dig down underneath the ground by 1 block, okay? And then we're going to go into flight mode, but crawl mode, you know, whatever it is. And then we're just going to mirror this. So we're going to dig out a 1 block deep layer underneath the entire hexagon. And then we're just going to run a minecart hopper underneath here. I think that's the way we're going to do this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then it will be 6 diagonals. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And this is a very strange way of counting it, I know, but this is how I figured out in my head. So Then we're back to the 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then again, 6, 9, 6, 9, 6. We should be back to the beginning. Okay, so now I'm just taking a moment to think about how this is going to work. So the cart has to enter underneath the farm, do a full loop to collect up any potential honeycomb, i.e. this one right here. And then it has to reverse all the way back throughout the system and then stop on some form of delivery system, which I'm assuming will be an item filter, a filtered hopper. So let's say, for example, the cart is going to come in from this side. I think that would be the best case scenario. So if we hop down into our newly dug area, and then we can go down here, and it looks like this at the moment. I don't know why, but I always really like the look of these one high areas. They always look pretty interesting. So we'll have the cart make its way from this side, and it will just head immediately across like this. But then the interesting thing for me is that I think we're actually going to create like a loop. So it's going to go all the way across the diagonal straight away, like this. And then it will head across this side. And you might be struggling to see here, but what I'm going for is kind of like a spiral shape. So it's going to finish up in the middle somewhere and then bounce back and do the same journey, but in the reverse direction. Oh, now for the moment of truth. So the spiral track, terrible idea. Terrible idea. I've changed it up. We're just going to go with like a back and forth type thing. Goes all the way to the back corner and then it will revert. So, moment of truth, as I say, we are going to test this out. And there should be some test subjects along the way for it to pick up. So let's give it a moment and just see what happens. Wow, so certainly a lengthy process, but you know, it doesn't matter if the results are good, which they are. So honeycomb in the cart is always a good sign. That means that we've covered the ground required, I suppose. But as I say, it took a long time, didn't it? Eventually, we'll have this thing on a hopper timer, I assume, that will send it off every, I don't know, 2-3 minutes or so, just to do a loop, and then it will come back to a station where it sends the items into a central collection area. But guys, I promised that we wouldn't spend all episode over here swimming underneath the hive, so let's go check something else in the nether. Okay then guys, welcome back to the pigman farm, somewhere we haven't been in a while since completing work here. So yeah, we're over in the nether, on the roof, where it's so absurdly dark that whenever we stare off into the abyss, there are several circles on the screen. Very interesting. Is that the eye, the abyss staring back into us? Who knows? Questions that need answers, but not questions for today. Oh, loud noises. 1 second. There's always a trick to this. Just do that, and they disappear. Voila. Very good. Okay, so what we are going to be working on right now is the collection and distribution storage system of this thing. So I guess first thing to do, we've got a bunch of junk here. I am just gonna purge it by doing this. This is maybe not a good idea, but I'm going to do it anyway. And just let everything fall to the ground, and I will deal with that in just a moment. Oh my god, look at it, guys. Look at it. Such a mess. Such a mess. But you know what you're supposed to do with messes, right? You're supposed to clean them up. So I guess let's get to that. Hopefully I've got a chest. I do. Nice. Okay. So for the time being, we'll just have random chests dotted around full of gold swords, because gold swords, guys, gold swords, they're so useless. Such a useless item. Well, I guess not entirely useless, because you can smelt them for a golden nugget, but that takes time, patience, and effort. So that's going to be something that's last on the priority list here. But anyway, I'm going to continue cleaning up. Got a bit of a job to do, bit of biohazard in the nether. Let's get rid of it. Well, can't say that was fun, but at least we got it done. It was a pain in the butt, but it's over. So let's get into some more technical building here. So I think I'm going to use a similar system to the one that we used last time, which was a dropper system. So we'll begin right here, I guess, if I can get the block placed. Nope, come on. No. Okay, let's try one more time. I placed it. Oh, I placed it somewhere, but not where it needs to be. Okay, let's just do this then. We'll come down here, and then the dropper is gonna be right there. Right there. Yep, that's good. That is okay. Dropper's gonna be there. And then we'll have like a glass platform here that I'm going to attempt to walk out onto. I hope this works. It does. Nice. Okay. Okay, we're making slow but steady progress. Let's take our blocks back. And then we will have, so let's see what we're gonna have here. We want a block behind, and then we want an observer facing, not that way, we want the observer to face the other way. Something like this, okay. And then we're gonna have another observer here facing, not that way, guy, come on. Go back maybe one more block to place it. Facing that way, okay, yep, that is correct. And then behind this observer, we will have ourselves a sticky piston. All right, that's fine. And then what will we have next? We will have, you know, I should have brought some actual blocks with me. Yeah, that might have been an idea. Let me grab some. Sweet, so we're back in action, and I've just immediately realized that this is in fact all wrong. So let's retract whatever we had so far. We indeed need a comparator, not there. Right there, that's reading the contents of this guy, and that is going to send a signal this way. It's going to send a signal right to, I believe, this block here, which we'll place a carpet on top of just to prevent any sort of spawns. We don't want any spawns. That's why we're using glass also, by the way. Okay, and then this will be the piston right here. Piston. Okay, good, good, good. And again, let's carpet it. I don't think mobs can spawn on pistons, but just in case, we'll do that. And then we want. No. Okay, I knew this was gonna happen. Maybe we should first of all place down the observer. So observer here, facing that way. And then let's get the piston down. Again, this might be a difficult task to place it. Oh, no, that's easy enough. Carpet on top. Okay, so signal going into block, into piston, which pushes the observer. That is not correct. Observer number 2 needs to face this way so that the output is facing this guy. And then again, we can have block, carpet, and now anytime an item enters this guy. No, okay, what's going wrong here? Oh, I know what's going wrong. Hang on. Easy fix. So let's go around the back again. This guy needs to be replaced by this guy, and voila. That will send the signal into this block, which sends the signal into the piston. The piston forces the observer forward, and whenever two observers are facing each other like this, block beside each other, so whenever this one is on this block but they're facing each other, they just emit a constant pulse on and off, so that will cause this block to gain power, which powers the dropper over and over again until it is empty, and then the signal is dropped and the observer is retracted. But what we'll do is we'll just add a tick to this so that it doesn't fire back and forth, and we should be good to go. But we need one of these on each side of the farm. So we've got some good news and some bad news. The good news is all 4 of these modules are complete. So that means now that when we begin killing the zombies, the zombie pigmen, the zombified pigmen, whatever they're called nowadays, doesn't matter. But whenever we kill them, the items will drop down the hopper, into the dropper, and then the system will fire, causing the dropper to just dispense items continuously until it's empty. However, the bad news is we're missing one key component, and that one key component is something that's kind of hard to come by. We need cobwebs, and the idea behind cobwebs is that when a dropper shoots items, it can often shoot them in random directions, so it might go straight down, it might go to the side, maybe to the other side, who knows. But if you place a cobweb directly underneath the dropper, that will slow down the item's velocity and actually cause it to definitely fall inside this 1x1 area that it should fall inside of, if you get what I'm saying. Maybe I'm explaining it poorly, but we need a cobweb in this block right here. So I'm going to have to hunt for an abandoned mineshaft, I guess. Back over in the Badlands biome, and there's a good reason for it. So if you guys were unaware, in the Badlands biome, it's actually a lot more common to find surface level abandoned mineshafts. So just above my cursor here, you can see there's 1, 2, 3 entrances to an abandoned mine shaft. So I'm going to head over there in just a moment to grab some cobwebs. But before we do that, I also came across this structure. So this is the first time I believe I found one of these in this series. This is one of the new 1.16 demolished portals, destroyed portals. I don't really know what they're called, but you can kind of see that this portal here used to be in the shape that a portal is required to be in order to function, but it's since fallen backwards into the lava, and it's almost as well as if the Nether is starting to spill into the overworld because of the portal's presence, which is pretty neat, right? And you can also find these early in the game to get enough obsidian to craft a portal if that's something you're looking to do. Obviously, that isn't in our agenda at all, but they also come with a chest. So protection 1 gold boots, sharpness 5 golden axe, that's pretty interesting. A bunch of iron nuggets, couple of gold pressure plates, fire charge, and obsidian. Sweet. I'm also going to take the chest. So I know that gold items are often common in those chests. You can generally find yourself a gold block as well. Let's see if we can snag this. We can. Very good. And we'll just let the lava pour. But as I mentioned, let's get down into this abandoned mine shaft and find us some cobwebs. Hey, do you guys know what would have been useful right now? A pair of shears would have been useful for collecting the cobwebs, but Hocus and his amazing planning skills have struck once again, and I came unprepared. So I'm actually on the search for some iron right now, but I thought I'd show you guys these 2 chests. Oh yes, perfect. I was hoping that would be the case, and there we go. We have been rewarded by the game. So let me just figure out my inventory. We can indeed craft up some of these guys. You know what? Hard rails. I kind of want the cart. I think that would be a good thing to take. Everything else I'm not really that interested in, but if we do grab our shears, and this time we'll get rid of the rotten flesh, you can in fact use shears to collect these guys, and this is exactly what I'm after. So if you just break them down with the shears, you get the cobweb, but we will need to sacrifice something more. We've got a lot of sticks, that'll be okay. You can just go through and pick up a bunch. So I'm going to try and grab as many as possible here because I don't want to have to be coming back regularly. And then we'll make our way back over to the Nether and try and add a little bit more to this storage system. Okay guys, let's get started with the cobwebs, and then I'll try to give a brief rundown of where I'm expecting to go with this. So this is the first task, complete. Nice and easy, nice and easy. Okay, we can actually head down to the ground now. And then if you guys are familiar with my... Where did I put that shulker box? Did I leave it up there? I could have sworn I grabbed it. Oh no, it's still up there. All right, let's grab that real quick. But if you guys are familiar with my last LP series and the way I did the storage system for the gold farm during that world's playthrough, I'm gonna do something very similar, just slightly different design on the shulker loader this time, and I'll go over that once I built it. But the idea is going to be that we use the stonecutter as well as some andesite, and what we're gonna do is create a circular ring around the center of this farm, so the scaffolding here. And then around that ring, we're going to have some filters that allow us to load shulker boxes with nuggets, gold ingots, and rotten flesh. So I guess first of all, let's get started on the ring and see what we make of it. So let's take a look at what we've got going on here then, guys. I did say a ring. Obviously, this isn't much of a ring. It isn't complete yet, but I think you'll get the idea. So in here, the first 5 blocks on the inside, we'll be building our shulker loaders, so that will go in this space right here. And then these 5 blocks on the outside will be the path in which we use to walk around the outside and access the shulker loaders. So I think right here we're going to have gold ingots. We'll have gold nuggets on one side and then rotten flesh on the other. And then at the back over there, I'm going to create some sort of smelting system to break down the gold swords back into nuggets, which then hopefully will feed back into the system and store, or even have a separate shulker loader for that over there. I don't know, we'll get to that further down the line. However, it is time to start working on the loader. So I've got some stuff up together, and this is gonna be the first time we use target blocks in the world. Another new 1.16 block right here. So I'm gonna build this off camera and then attempt to explain how it works, just because that will be easier than trying to remember everything on camera. So give me just a moment and we will see what we can get done. So here it is, guys. Here it is. The shulker box loader design that I'm going with for this build. So this is a design by a YouTuber called Mr. Blizzard. Link down in the description to that video. Go show him some love if you've got time, guys, because he's made a pretty nice design here involving the new target blocks, as I mentioned. So just remind me also to get some carpets up there. I do not want these guys spawning if I can help it. But the way this thing works is we've got a barrel here. This can be a chest, a shulker box, anything. That will load up the shulker box. So our filters will eventually be connected to this barrel right here. This barrel at the back can be filled with shulker boxes to load into the system. And I've already pre-filled this one pretty much to completion with rotten flesh. So we're just going to demonstrate by sticking that guy in there like so. And then the items will begin flowing in. And as soon as the box is completely filled, the piston pushes it down. That drops it off in this barrel here. And then if there are any more shulker boxes in the dispenser here, we can demonstrate that as well, I guess. They will be immediately pre-filled into this gap. So something like that. And then as soon as this one fills, once again, it'll be broken. It'll fall down into our storage system and be collected. So in this barrel right here, you'll only ever find full shulker boxes. Then you can take them out and just transport the items wherever they need to be in the world. So really neat design. I think more compact than what we had last time. It's definitely a lot easier because in the last design, you'd have to fill a chest with items to compare signals against. So removing that is definitely a great advancement on this mechanism. But all in all, as I say, really nice design. So Mr. Blizzard, link down in the description. Go show him some love if you have time to do that today, guys. And a couple of slight additions to the design. So first of all, as I mentioned just a second ago, we're going to add a bit of carpet over the top so that we don't get any spawns. That is very important because if a ghast was to spawn here, oh boy. And that's the exact reason why we use glass and slabs, because glass is an unspawnable block, so are slabs. So they're perfect for this build. And just so that you guys are aware, once we have set up the filtering system, we of course will remove the carpet so that we can start filtering items into this barrel right here. And then aside from that, we might go put a carpet on there as well, just for design purposes. And then the final thing I wanted to do was just to have a manual override button. So if there's ever a situation where we run out of shulker boxes and we need to have the next one dispensed, here's a good example. We can hit this button and it'll be dispensed. I mean, in that case, obviously, since this one is full, it immediately got pushed into this barrel here. But as I mentioned, if there's ever a situation where we haven't filled up this barrel here with shulker boxes, we can just refeed it and then hit the manual reset button to get our next shulker box in the system, because without that button, it won't dispense automatically unless there is one already in this slot. I think I explained that well. I don't know. You guys will get the gist as we use this thing. Okie dokie, guys. We are going to be wrapping up the episode here very soon. But before we do that, there's something I want to test out. So I've been breeding up the cows and we got a good number on both sides. So let's give this thing a dressed rehearsal run, I suppose we could call it. So first of all, we're going to have to break all of these blocks out. Otherwise, this won't function the way it should do. And then we can go ahead and press the activation button. And I just want to make sure that it is working as intended, because I haven't tested it since that very first small test that we did. So here we go. Button pressed. Trapdoors are up. I've got freedom to go inside and breed the cows. So far so good. It's working as intended. And I should have around 25 seconds to get in and out. So I can start making my way over here. And then I think some of the baby cows are already dropping down there, which is good. Yep, I can see them down there. That is nice to see. So our timer should almost be up, I would imagine. There it is. And then if there are any babies remaining, which I don't know if there are. There should be some, I would imagine. How many are down there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I guess there's one right there, I think. Yeah, it looks like a baby's right there. He may make his way out. I mean, the way the game works, I believe it takes 20 minutes, so one full Minecraft day for an animal to grow up. So this cow's got 20 minutes to wander into this 2-wide gap, or just slightly less than 2-wide gap. I think, though, aside from that little guy, everybody else made their way down there, which is good to see, right? Good to see. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cows down there. One more up here, by the looks of things. And yeah, good. So confirmation that this thing works. Whoopsie daisy. I needed to come down here anyway, guys. That was on purpose. All right, I'm going to take care of the other side, breed those guys up, and then we'll think about wrapping up the episode. All right then, guys, that is going to do it for this episode of the Minecraft LP series. I do hope that you had fun with this one. Once again, for me, great fun. I cannot wait to get the storage system set up for the gold farm so that we can use it without restriction. That is going to be awesome. And we should make a lot of gold and get a bunch of other nice items from that farm, as well as the experience, of course. So it's very beneficial to us to get that finished ASAP. If you guys did enjoy today's episode, please be sure to drop a like down below. That'd be much appreciated. Any questions, suggestions, comments, or feedback can go right down there, right down in the comment section below. And then finally, if you are new here and you did enjoy what you saw today, please be sure to consider subscribing. I would appreciate it. And welcome to the channel if you are new. But aside from that, guys, we are finished for today. So take care, have a great day, enjoy your weekend. I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.